Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And breaking news, big news in today is that the Sharks versus Stormers Super Rugby Unlocked clash this weekend has been cancelled in line with COVID-19 protocols, which as a result pretty much means that the Bulls have officially won Super Rugby Unlocked. This is because obviously with the Stormers and the Sharks match being cancelled, they will each receive 2 points, which takes them up to each to 19 points, with the Bulls also on 19 points. The only way the Bulls can lose is with a inferior points difference, which when they're sitting on 70 and the next best is Stormers on 28, seems very, very unlikely. It means that the Pumas would have to beat the Bulls this weekend by a margin of 43 points or more in order for the Stormers to be able to win the Super Rugby Unlocked. So a big decision today and massive ramifications. But at the end of the day, especially as supporters, we can't really complain. You can't complain about the issue. You can't sit there and say this is not right or whatever, because we are in the middle of a global pandemic. You know, it is about player welfare. And this is why I keep saying that the entire tournament has been a luxury, in that we've got rugby to play and that to watch, and that there has been matches, and that it was always going to be a very disrupted competition, that it was always going to be quite a difficult one to manage. And I think sort of verifies why we potentially didn't go overseas and play in the Tri Nations, which we've become under a lot of stick for. But we're seeing the realities right now, especially in Super Rugby Unlocked, of trying to have play sport within the current conditions, and it's very, very difficult. And I think that as I said, we can't really complain. You can't sit there and say, well, the players must just play, or they must just play the reserve and stuff like that. Player welfare has to come first. And at the end of the day, this has been a decision that has been taken, and been taken very early because of various issues within teams and stuff like that. We've seen that the Lions have had 2 games called off because of the COVID-19 issues. So it's difficult, and it's frustrating that a tournament which promised so much really good rugby and really exciting, and it promised an exciting finish. The Stormers versus the Bulls against the Pumas, so you would have thought they would have won. But the Stormers still had an opportunity if they really wanted to go and try and outplay the Sharks. If the Bulls did slip up on Friday, then suddenly Saturday night would have been a bit of almost like a final for the Stormers, where a win of them could have taken them to the top of the table. But that will not be the case. And as unfortunate as it is the reality of the situation we find ourselves in. And this is why all the talk about, we should be using this competition as promotion, relegation for Pro 16, that can't happen. We can't do it, because this is not going to be a fair reflection of where the sides are. There are so many other factors that are determining all the results and all the situation at the moment, that we can't look at this competition, or the Currie Cup even, and say that is a fair reflection of where South African rugby is and where each team is, because it's just not at the end of the day. And this is why I keep saying that I don't want to look at this tournament and be like, this is the be all and end all of every union. Look, you can point to certain things and say that there are certain issues in the union, but at the end of the day, the way we had to approach this was that there is some rugby. We were lucky enough to see some rugby. We got rugby back on our TVs, but there was always going to be a lot of issues. And I mean, it's easy to say, well, the Lions haven't played well, but they've had two games that have been cancelled. And as a result, they've really struggled to sort of find match fitness, be able to get some results and stuff like that. If they had maybe beaten the Cheetahs and beaten the Pumas, they could have been sitting there. I mean, maybe they had absolute blinders, beaten the Pumas, beaten the Cheetahs, and won with bonus points. They would have been sitting on 20 points. That's on top. That's top of the log. You don't know what would have happened. So, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where I think we have to be very cognizant of the fact that, given the situation, this was always a possibility, and it's a difficult decision to take by Saru, and they have been talking about how these decisions had to be made earlier because they have so many ramifications. We saw how the backlash when the Cheetahs game was cancelled whilst they were based at the team hotel, a couple of hours before the match, and they said it wasn't good enough. So now they are trying to be a bit more proactive about the entire thing, but it is very unfortunate. The consequence is that the Bulls versus the Pumas will take place on Saturday, not on Friday. Time is still to be confirmed on that, but that is an update there. So yeah, jump in the comments, let me know what you think of the situation. Obviously not the ideal way to finish But, as I said, it's just one of those things that I think we're going to have to contend with a lot in the next coming months. Jump in the comments, let me know what you think. Don't forget to smash like on the video, as well as subscribe to the channel. Closing in on 200, so please do show your support. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you very, very soon.